Welcome back to another episode of 40 Facts about the 40K universe. I am your host Gershwan and you are watching One Mind Syndicate. Today we're talking about demon hosts and everything there is to know about summoning a demon from the warp into real space. If you guys have any suggestions as to topics you guys would like to hear about in our videos, please comment down below with suggestion followed by whatever topic you want us to create a video for. Let's get into 40 facts about demon hosts. A demon host is an unholy creation of foul and dangerous rituals in which a powerful demon is bound into a living human host body and enslaved to its creator's will. An utterly foul act, the creation of a demon host condemns the soul of the host body to eternal torment and provides a lasting home in the universe for a demon to work its evil. Although it is possible for a demon of chaos to directly manifest itself within the physical realm, it is a very difficult task. The barriers between the warp and real space must be weakened by rituals and sacrifice, and even then, the demon can only appear for a short length of time. Demonic possession is a more common form of intrusion, where a demon imparts some of its powers and will into the physical host. Like manifestations, possessions is normally limited in times, but can extend almost indefinitely if certain ceremonies and procedures are performed at the time of possession. A demon host is an almost indescribable foul entity. Only the most debased cultists and most radical of inquisitors and acolytes might contemplate creating such an abomination. A demon host can be a powerful but dangerous tool. Even the most tightly leashed is still a mighty creature, stronger and more resilient than any human with potent psychic abilities. Each is also immensely knowledgeable, often more so than the most learned of maleficent scholars, for a demon is not bound by the limits of reality. As a denizen of the warp, it knows ways of the immaterium and can see into the depths of men's souls. Despite the numerous risks, there are still many reasons to create a demon host. Cults might create a demon host as an act of worship or to grant the demonic object of their veneration a method to walk amongst its followers. A cult might bind a demon host as a way of its magister to show his power and favor in the eyes of the gods, or simply as a weapon to use against the service of righteousness. For those who serve as the demon host's vessel, some are willing volunteers, members of chaos-worshipping cults, who give over their bodies so that their master may walk amongst them. Others are less self-sacrificing, having been captured by a cult and waking with a demon living inside their mind, an experience likely to drive even the most strong-willed into insanity. Inquisitors, particularly those of the Ordo Malleus and their servants, could craft a demon host for their own reasons. One inquisitor might create one as a powerful weapon to wield in his fight against chaos, believing that only another creature of the warp can stand against its kind in battle. Another might bind a demon purely in order to interrogate the willing creature, plumbing into the depths of its impossible knowledge for secrets to aid him in his work, or for insight into the activities of his enemies. A demon host, like all demons, is a liar. Although bound through powerful rites to serve its creator, a demon host constantly plots and schemes against him, and depending on the strength and nature of its binding, might threaten him. A demon host might prefer to play the role of a servant, biding its time until its opportunity arrives to break free and wreak vengeance on its summoner. Regardless of how it behaves, no demon willingly serves a human. Each demon host despises and loathes its binders and masters and seeks constantly for some way to change the state of affairs. A demon host is a powerful creature, the walking embodiment of the warp. With few exceptions, the demon bound within the host is potent, on the level of a herald and demon prince, because the wards and bindings that enslave the demon host also decrease its power. A lesser demon bound to a host is weaker than that demon would be otherwise, and seldom worth the risk of summoning and binding it in the first place. A demon prince, herald, or other potent demon, even when bound, is almost unimaginably powerful. One who would create a demon host faces a choice, as the more tightly bound a demon host is, the less powerful, while the more loosely bound, the more free it is to resist its master, and the more likely to escape its bindings altogether. The knowledge of how to create a demon host is very hard to acquire, besides being considered heresy of the highest order by the Imperium. Outside the Inquisition, one could be executed for even knowing the existence of such abominations. The information is simply not widely known, and even less widely distributed. Some particularly devoted chaos cultists or sorcerers may research demon host creation, but their work is often fragmented or even dangerously flawed. Only the desperate or insane would trust their mad scribings. There are a few tomes that do include detailed and somewhat reliable instructions. These books are filled with maleficent and demonic lore, and are often very rare and very old. Some may have even been inscribed when the Emperor still walked in Holy Terra. If such a tome is to be obtained, a victim is still required. Although no two sets of instructions for creating demon hosts are the same, nearly all require a living human victim. Normally, one cannot create a demon host by binding a demon within an animal or corpse. If there are more specifications describing a suitable victim, such as male, female, or pure of soul, they will be described in the instruction set. How the victim is obtained, of course, is another matter entirely. Once the summoners have obtained both the proper instructions and suitable victim, they must determine what demon they will bind. This is the most difficult part of the process. The summoners cannot randomly summon a demon, then bind it with its host. The summoners must know who the demon is, specifically its name, if it is a follower of a particular ruinous power, a measure of its deeds and interactions with the mortal world, and other details. Since the demon will undoubtedly regard the binding as a hostile act, many choose to bind vanquished demonic foes or rivals well known to them through prior encounters. After all, what sweeter revenge is there than having your vanquished enemy forced to be binded? Once the pieces are in place, there are two steps to creating a demon host. First, the actual bindings detailed in the instructions must be applied to the victim's body. This is done by inscribing the words and phrases of containment directly onto the skin. The inscribing can be done in simple ink, although considering the terrible consequences should the ward have even the slightest flaw, most prefer a medium that cannot be carelessly smeared or altered, such as a tattoo or scarification. Once this is done, additional bindings such as sanctified chains and locks, purity needles, and sigils of authority are added to the victim as well. The entire process is usually quite detailed and time-consuming. Although under pressure, it can be accomplished quickly. Such sloppiness often leads to unpleasant results. A summoner can expect the process to take at least a full day, especially if the wards are etched into the skin rather than drawn. At the end of the process, the ritual's success will depend on the summoner's knowledge of demonology. The basic difficulty of a ritual depends on how many levels of binding the summoner wants to apply to the future host. If the ritual is successful, the bindings have been brought together correctly. However, for every degree of failure, minuscule flaws render the binding 1 degree less than the summoner intended. The summoners will only discover how successful they were until they attempt to summon the demon. Successful or not, everyone involved in applying the bindings shares the essence of the warp that will plant its seeds of corruption. The next step is to summon the actual demon. The summoning ceremony will also be described in the instructions, and while the specifics differ, all ceremonies involve aspects such as ward circles made out of sanctified salt and blood, long ritual incantations, and probably a live sacrifice of some type. Once the demon manifests, the summoner conducting the ceremony speaks the words of binding and engages in a battle of will with the demon. If the summoner loses the battle, the demon vanishes back into the warp, swearing vengeance. If he wins, there is a flash, a deafening crack, a sudden stretch of ozone, and the demon finds itself inside the host's body. The ritual reveals the strength of the bindings. As long as the demon host is at least once bound, there is no immediate danger. However, if the demon host is unbound, it is not constrained by the summoner's orders. it will lash out, attempting to kill the person who summoned it, as well as anyone else in its vicinity. Once the demon host is bound and contained, the summoner who bound it can compel it to do his bidding. As long as the demon host remains bound, it is unable to directly harm the summoner. How closely it follows orders depends on how strong its bindings are, and how specific the summoner is with its directions. When given basic directions such as protect me, or follow me and be silent, the demon host will obey the summoner without trouble. However, when instructing the demon host on a specific set of orders, such as go to the building, kill this man, let no one see you, the summoners and the demon host will clash once again. Provided that the summoner wins, the demon host will obey its order to the letter. However, if the summoner shall show mercy, the demon host will creatively interpret its orders with more liberty. The summoner should make no mistake. A demon host is no friend of whoever it serves. At best, it is a grudging servant, doing its master's bidding while taking any opportunity to delight in bloodshed, slaughter, and destruction along the way. Whenever it has the opportunity, it will cause trouble for its master in any way possible. Most often, this comes in the form of bending its master's orders as much as it can without quite breaking them. As an example, a demon host is ordered to go to a specific building and kill an individual while remaining unseen, but the summoner who created it did not mention anything else. The demon host will still go to the building and kill the individual, but then perhaps it will kill everyone else in the building in a gory and obviously supernatural fashion, drawing the attention of the authorities and likely spoiling the master's plan. All demon hosts are bound to not harm their master. However, if their master is weak-willed, a demon host is free to ruin his plans, fail to aid him if not specifically ordered to, or even harm those around him. Needless to say, this makes demon hosts some of the most dangerous and fickle allies a band of cultists can possess, and they should be treated with caution. And those were 40 facts about the demon hosts. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. There's going to be a part 2 where we get into individual demon hosts that exist in the Warhammer 40K universe, so don't forget to subscribe to get that. If you have any more suggestions for topic ideas, please comment down below with suggestion followed by the topic idea. And of course, guys, if you guys want to summon a demon, don't forget to take your sanctified salt and blood, draw a circle, and write Wah and OMS on it, and you can summon the demon Gersh1 or Sound Alchemist, and maybe we can play some Warhammer 40K together or something. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. By you guys liking the video, it really helps out the channel, and the more help we get, the more awesome giveaways we can give out. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. This was Gersh1 with One Mind Syndicate, signing out.